project. The last part of the project was the transmitter switch, and the transmitter switch had two functions, or say three functions. Selected transmitter 1, receive transmitter 2, and then the other function, the third function, was to put the ST6 into mark hold when you're transmitting, because there's you don't want it to be interrupted by you don't want your transmission to be interrupted by any traffic coming into the ST6 correctly or incorrectly. The transmitter we want to integrate this with is this Harris RF1140A 1 kilowatt transmitter. I have several other videos on the setup and integration of this transmitter. And to do this, I have created a standard interface to this for all key lines. And the standard interface is used by many different components of the system. For example, here is the operating position of the transmitter, and what you can see is behind it I use a standard RJ45 connection that carries all kinds of signals that I need. So here you can see the RJ45, and I use standard Cat5 or even Cat3 Ethernet cables all around the shack to convey these signals, which include ground, key line out, which we're not using in this application, CW key in, push to talk in, which we are using, FSK, transmit mute out. This is one of these two bottom signals, transmit mute out and side tone, are sent back into the operating position for the receiver. So anyway, this is in and out, key lines in and out, and I've standardized on using the RJ45 and standard Ethernet connections around the shack to convey them. Okay, first thing, let's power up the transmitter. All right, next thing, we got to turn the amp on full power, which is the operate mode, and you may be able to hear the fans of the amplifier kick in. All right, next thing, we're going to simulate receiving traffic using IDI. Let's see if I can set this up. Okay. I have both printers running. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this up for transmitter 1, and what you'll see is it'll stop receiving, it'll go into transmit mode, and then I will point you over to my watt meter, and you can see how much power is being put out. All right, let's turn the transmitter on. And it is now transmitting, if you can see. About 945 watts. Right now I'm putting the power into a dummy load. And when I'm done transmitting, I put it back into receive mode. And now I'm receiving traffic again. We'll do it again, hit transmit. And there we are, 945 watts. So now I'm running the tape through and transmitting. So I turned on the transmitter. Tape is running through the transmitter distributor with the message I prepared last night. Here you can see it transmitting away. And here you can see about an average of 160 watts or so, which is like an on-off duty cycle, probably more on than off, but and the transmitter is the Harris. So you can get a better view of that. And the transmitter. I'm not using this modem today. That's for computer work. Instead, the modem today is this newly installed Navy CV2460. Some things I like about it, some things I don't like about it. Still working out the kinks. And the ST6 is providing loop current. And you'll see in my newly redone loop jack field for my loop. And here you can see we're still printing out tape. We're still reading the tape. And the tape is now coming to an end. You just got some noise. Here we go, someone's gonna come and respond. I'm also watching this on the computer. I can do testing and see which demodulator works best, which converter. So this is Ray KA3EKH, and you can see his signal here. It's the taller blip. You can see it shift about 850 hertz left to right. And here's the receiver transmitter setup, the remote control on the bottom, and the receiver on top. Well, friends, that effectively concludes this whole series on creating this ASR control panel, which helps me control my external reperforator, as well as allow me to transmit at least one transmitter. I'll get a second one wired up eventually. And it puts the ST6 terminal unit into transmit, into standby mode, and keys the transmitter. So this has really been a fun project. I know it's kind of been a long one.